I'm sure, everybody's, you got a lot of information, right? Now we're going to put everything to work, and we're going to show you, what is that we do that, we are here, okay, and I know every one of you can be here, So let me start with something, Number one thing, you need to understand why are we in this business, right? Because if you don't value something what you have, how would you be able to appreciate it, And that was in my case. When I saw the business, I did not really see it to a point where I can see that, yes, this is something really exciting, And it took me a couple of these meetings, I went to a couple of these functions, and finally I understood what I was in. After that, it didn't take me too long to succeed. Now, a little bit of my background where I'm coming from is I had a very humble beginning in my life actually, because we are very poor, and we had to struggle through everything, including I had to work hard to my study, I worked all the way through college, because I had to earn money to pay for my education myself, And so I didn't mind doing that. And the only reason I did that is because, I wanted to have a better life. And I had resolved that, one day I'm going to have family. And I'm saying, I don't want to have my family go through the same thing I'm going, right? Wouldn't we all want to make sure our family lives better than we have? Right? And that's the goal I had. And for that, only thing I knew was go get a good education and then you'll be taken care of. Right? How many of you were told that? Right? Now, how many of you are already set in your life? Right? So they lied to me just like they lied to you. Okay? Because that's not going to do it. It's not because something wrong with it. It's like, you are a good player but stuck with a bad team, right? No matter how good batsman you are, but if you're stuck with a bad team, nothing can happen, right? And that's what happening to some of us, that we are a player but we are stuck in a B game, right? And that's how I felt, because I didn't have a right vehicle, I did my pharmacy here in Ahmedabad. And then went to US for obviously better life, I was told there's a better life there. But there also I ended up paying bills. Right? All we do is work a whole month and at the end of the month pay a lot of bills and whatever is left, that's what you use. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Right? So I was thinking that why came I thousands of miles away to pay bills? I could have paid bill in India. Right? So that's where we were when we saw this opportunity. Meanwhile, in US, I did computer studies and got into computers, and I did my MBA in finance marketing, and I started in a Citibank there as a mailroom clerk, moved my way up to VP in charge of computer department, And it was a good journey, learn a lot, and everything was exciting. But after that, job comes with the ceilings and wall. How much you know what I'm talking about? You can only go up to a certain level and you can only do certain things, right? Plus, I started realizing that if I don't control my income, I cannot control my expenses. Does anybody know what I'm talking about, right? Every time I have to buy something, I have to first ask myself, can I afford it, right? Because all decisions were controlled by my income and the time I had. There are two things I'm going to talk about mainly. Does everybody wants to have a good lifestyle? Right? Now, what do you need to have a good lifestyle? Number one, you have to define what it is, right? But to me, after all this experience of going through in a life, I came to a point that you can only enjoy your life when you have time and money both. Would you all agree? Right? Because a lot of people have a lot of money, but no time. There are four kinds of people in the world. Okay? One group, which is, people have a lot of money, no time. Right? You could be one of them. I was in that group. I had a lot of money, but no time. I would wake up 5 in the morning to go to work, come home late evenings. Okay? When I go to work, children are sleeping. When I come home, they are sleeping. I don't even get to see them. So that's why I used to tell Meena, make sure they see my picture at home, Otherwise on Sunday they might call me uncle, They wonder who is this uncle in the house, right? Now you are all laughing, I wasn't, because it was happening to me. And I'm sure some of you probably feel the same way, right? And so I had a lot of money, no time. Now what can you do with the money if you don't have time to enjoy it? Is that money going to do any good? No, right? Second group of people, they have a lot of time but no money. Right? What are you going to do with all that time you have? You have nothing you can do about it, right? And there's a third group of people, they don't have time and they don't have money. That's majority of what we call working class. You work, you don't even have time and you don't have money, right? Now that's a worse position to be in. And there's a fourth group of people, they have time and money both. Right? I was in the first group, I was able to move into last group by doing what I do today, which you have the same opportunity. Okay? Now the point to understand is, do you really need it? See? There are three things I always, whenever when I saw somebody a plan, I would ask them these three things. Okay? And if we have those three things, then I'll show them the plan. Because if you don't have these three things, I'm wasting my time. Okay. Number one, I want to know, do you have a need? Because if you're not hungry, does it matter how good my food is? You have no value, right? But if you are hungry, you'll try it, right? It's possible you may not like my food, but in order for you to try, you got to be hungry. Otherwise, you won't even try, right? Same way, if you don't have a clear need of time and money, why would you even do something about to get it? Right? So the need is very essential in order for you to grow in anything that you do. Without need, you won't. If you don't have need for paycheck, would you go to work? Everything starts with a need. If you don't have need, you won't do it. Right? Now, there's a difference between need and a want. How much you know what I'm talking about? Okay? A lot of people want a lot of things. But for want, you may not go do whatever it takes. Because it's just a want. You have so many list of things you want. How many of you want to, take the world tour? Everybody wants to do. But are you doing anything about it? No, you just want it. Right? So how do you figure out what's need and what's want? The example I usually use is, let's say if you are drowning. Do you want air or do you need air? You see the difference? Okay. Now, when you need something, you will not negotiate the price. Right? Let's say if you are drowning and if I tell you that, I can get you out, but you got to pay me crore rupees. Would you agree? At that time, you will. When you come out, you won't give me. I know that. Right? But at that time, you will not argue. You won't negotiate. You won't say, no, can you do it in 50 lakhs? No, you won't do that. You don't even time for it, right? So when you want something, that's how you'll do it. You'll not negotiate the price. Okay? Matter of fact, you cannot negotiate price for success. If you negotiate price of success, you will not have a success. Okay? So you got to do, I got to go to meeting, I got to listen to CD, I got to do this. Well, then you're negotiating the price. Right? So ask yourself this question, that do I want time and money or do I need time and money? I want you to answer that question yourself. Ask yourself, do I want time and money or do I need time and money? And if the answer is I need time and money, you'll do whatever it takes. Then it won't take you 2 to 5 years, every one of you in this room. Even if you just joined today, you can be on this stage. Provided you have a need. Okay? If you have want, I don't know when you'll be here. Maybe not even in next function, you may not be here. Right? Because if you want something, it's not urgent. You may or may not do anything. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Right? So first of all, need. Now, second thing you have to find out to create the need is, it's not what you want, but why do you want what you want is more important. Right? Why do you want to have time and money? What would you like to do with it? It's not good say I need 50 lakhs rupees, but for what? Right? Because unless until you know why do I need it. See, money doesn't do anything, right? The happiness comes from what you can do with the money. Right? Having a house or buying a car or traveling or charities or whatever you do with that money gives you happiness. Money doesn't give you happiness. Right? Otherwise, all the people with a lot of money in no time, they're not happy. If money made them happy, they all should be happy, right? But that money they have not allowing them to do anything. That's the reason they can't be happy, right? So I want you to, I'll probably give you a homework today, okay? Go home maybe tonight or tomorrow, write an essay. If I control time and money, how my life will be. That's the title of essay. If you can write it, you'll get it. Okay? Because now you know, so write down if you have time and money, what other things can you do? Okay? How would you spend your day? Do you guys have any hobbies? Now, we all have some hobbies. Can you right now afford to spend time behind that hobby? No, because why? Majority of your time is going to make money. Right? So no time left. Right? But today, after we went diamond, we do so many things which I always like to do. I spend a lot of time in my hobbies, and before I never had time for it. And a lot of people, every one of you have a hobbies or something you really like to do. You may or may not ever to do before even most people die with all those wish with them. Or once they get certain age, they'll impose their children to follow this. Because they want to see their dream being accomplished to their children. If you know what I'm talking about. Okay? But how about doing yourself? Okay? See, today I do most of the things I always wanted. One of the things I always wanted to do was, write a book, And I just published my first book, Believe and Achieve. Okay? It's available here, doing phenomenally well. It was in first 10 days of publishing, it was in top 10 bestseller book here in India. Okay? And that's something, I wasn't surprised at it, obviously, But I would have never gotten an opportunity to do that. And the reason I want to do it was, that was my, I believe that when you write something and publish it, your book is going to live after way after you're gone. And so many people is going to get benefit. Okay? That was the goal I had. I wanted to empower people, give them the knowledge, give my experience, what I have gained. Okay? And now I'm working on another series of 5 different books is coming along, one after another. Okay? Because I have gained experience, learned from the Brit system, my upline Kantin Lata, all the Brit diamonds, I have learned so many things to read a lot of books, listening to a lot of CDs, and I was able to put that on the paper. Okay? So that was one of my hobbies which I'm enjoying now. Okay? To do that, I had to make sure I had enough money to put a food on a table for family, right? I can't have family starve and write book. It's not feasible, right? So I had to control time and money both, because you need time and you need money, right? Always wanted to learn music. I'm always a music, When I was in college, I tried to take my music lessons, but just never got a time. When I started working in a bank, I was so busy, I never get a time, Now I have. So I'm currently doing Sangeet Visarad in classical singing. Okay? I completed 2-year, this total 5-year course. I completed first 2 exams. I have 3 more to go. Okay? Now, something I enjoy doing. Now, if I don't have time and money, can I do that? No. Okay? I have 2 grandkids now, It's almost 4-year-old grandson Nikhil, and we have a 7-month-old granddaughter Sia. I get to spend full time with them. And play silly games with them and do whatever they want, And go to school to drop him. I can go back, bring him home, play chess with him, play carom with him. He loves to do everything what I do. He even starts singing with me. Okay? That's a joy. But if I was working, would I be able to do that? I had to go to work. Right? You see the point? Can you see yourself doing what? I'm not saying that my hobby, you have yours. Maybe you want to play cricket, you want to play tennis, maybe, you want to travel. Anybody want to travel? Yeah, myself and Veena, we've been to, in last 15 years, we've been to 35 countries for vacation. Okay? We've been to all 6 continents. 7th one I want to go because it's too cold. Right? You can do whatever you want. But to do all these things, what do you want? What do you need to have? Time and what? Money, both. One without others not going to do it. Okay? My always passion was to help people. Now, when can you help people? When you don't need help. Right? Simple definition I have. You can only help somebody when you don't need help. Right? When I was working, I always needed help. How am I going to help somebody else? No? Today, a lot of my time goes in charity work. Okay? I'm on the board of trustee. Easter Seal is a big, organization in U.S. They do a lot of things for autism and all that. I'm doing a lot of things here in India. A few years ago, I started a school for handicapped children in the Gujarat where I come from. Okay. Now I don't want to clap. I just want to let you know what you can do when you control both. Okay. There was a lady who was running the school for these handicapped girls, but obviously without money, how far can you go, right? So they were living in a small room, couple of children they could handle. I came to know about it, and then I built a building for a primary school. Okay. And now today, last I checked, they had over 250 girls in that school. All lodging and boarding, everything paid. Right? Is that something good? Now I just help them get started, little organized. Now a lot of other people are donating money too. But I can help them do, fundraisers and things like that. We were able to, organize such a way that 16 of those girls were able to come to US, stayed in my home. We had a fun. Okay? Where can you, those times there's no money you can put on behind this kind of good feeling, right? Because life is about giving. And every one of you know that you are more happy when you give. Would you all agree? See, whenever you give somebody a gift, you want them to open it. When they bring it out, you see their facial expression. Doesn't it give you the best joy ever? Right? We always, human being, you always going to be happy when you give. But in order to give, what you got to have? You got to have it. Right? Could be so many things you can do when you control time and money. Okay? You define. I want you to write an essay. What are the things can you do? If you want to travel, write down. What are the places you want to travel? What are the things you want to do? Make a list of the things you want to do before you die. And that list should be so big that it won't even finish before you die. Write down any silly things comes to your mind, write it down. Because it would happen. Because they are your inner desires. Right? You don't want to go with all those desires with you. Right? So I want you to write down that list. Okay? That's your need. Now if those things I want, nothing will happen. Right? So it has to be at the need level. Now once you establish your need, okay, the second thing has to happen is that you have to be willing to listen and learn from somebody or some group of people who can guide you how to control time and money. Right? You need a guidance in anything you do. You need a coach, you need a guide, you need a mentor, right? For me, luckily, there was Kanti and Lata. They became my guide and mentor. Okay? So they were able to guide me through the process where they empowered me with the knowledge and their experience so that I can accomplish what I needed to accomplish. Eventually, I had to work, but without guidance, how much can you work? You're not going anywhere. Right? And that's what the BRIT system provides. Okay? You listen to somebody's CD, you listen to, people here at function like this, okay? You read somebody's book, you really get their thought process. Right? And then you implement those things and you can accomplish it. But you have to be willing to listen and learn. A lot of people don't want to listen and learn because they know everything. If you know everything, what can somebody teach you? Nothing. Right? So one thing I knew for sure that I don't know everything. Even today I can tell you that I don't know everything. Right? In order for me to do that, I got to seek that information. Right? So that's the second thing. So when I'm showing somebody a plan also, I ask them, do you have a need? And I explain them what's the difference between need and want. And then I say, second, would you be willing to listen and learn? Because I can help you, but if you don't listen and learn from me, nothing I can do about it. Okay? Now you say, Colleen, you did? Yeah, because I don't want to waste my time. Right? And the third thing I would ask is, are you willing to make some change? Because you have to change something. In order for your life to change, things has to change. Would you all agree? Right? Nobody likes change. Even I had my 7-month-old granddaughter, she don't like to be changed when, because she cries. As soon as we try to change her diaper, she won't let it. Nobody wants change, right? But only thing in a life constant is change. In order for your financial situation to change, you have to change something. Would you all agree? If you don't have time and money now, and if you want it, and if you don't change anything, what are your chances? 0. Right? So don't even waste any more of your time. It's not going to happen. Right? So that is where, I'll tell you a funny story about it. This guy went to doctor, his ear was burnt. So doctor said, how did you do that? He said, I'm an absent-minded person. I was ironing my shirt. Phone rang, and instead of phone, I picked up the iron. So, okay. But then he turned around, and the other ear was burnt too. So he said, what happened here? So same guy called again. It's a funny story, but that's what most of us are doing. Doing same thing and expecting different results. How is it going to happen? Right? So if you want change, you better change something. Now, you won't be able to change until you know what to change. Right? That's why you got to become a student of Brit system. You learn what I need to change. When you listen to CD, how to show the plan, you learn, hey, maybe I need to change this, right? But if you don't listen to a CD, how are you going to learn? Right? If you don't come to meeting, how would you learn what to change? Right? So more you associate, more you learn. Okay? Now, you have these 3 things, but then there's a 4th thing you need. You are willing, you have a need, you're willing to listen, willing to change, but if you don't have right vehicle, what are you going to do? Right? Can you apply this thing at work and become millionaire? No, because the vehicle is wrong. Let's say you are a pilot, you know how to fly, let's say. But if you are in car, how fast you going? As much as car can allow you. Right? Same thing what I was telling you, you are a player but stuck in a big game. What are you going to do? Nothing. Right? You want to play test cricket, but you are stuck in a Ranji Trophy thing. Where are you going to go? Right? So you have to be in a proper system. In my personal opinion, what we are in with the Amway and Brit Worldwide combination, there is no other better vehicle to accomplish what we want to accomplish, which is gain time and money. Okay? In my personal opinion, there is nothing out there exists which anyone compare. Now I want you to understand, why do I believe that with Amway and Britwile you can have time and money both? I want you to understand that too. Because if you don't trust the vehicle, would you start a journey? No. If you have a car, you know that car may not go 5 kilometers before it breaks down. Would you start a 30-mile journey? No. Because you know this vehicle is no guarantee whether it's going to go there or not, right? That is, I know most of you know what Amway is, but I want to show you from a little different perspective why I believe network marketing is the way to go. I believe in 21st century, that's one of the best business opportunity exists on the face of earth, is network marketing. And I don't know how many of you know or not, successful people make money only doing one thing, building networks. You look at more CEOs or more managers, what they do, majority of time they're doing what? They're building the network. That's the only way it works. Okay? Now let me explain you different vehicles, and then you figure it out, is that vehicle good enough to get you time and money? Okay? Only 4 ways people make money. One, either you are working, you are employee. Other one, you could be your self-employed, means, you have your own small company, maybe, company with 10, 15 employees maybe, okay? Or you are a doctor, you are an attorney, you are a consultant, whatever, you are your own boss, right? Here, how you make money? You trade time for money. Would you all agree? You're working for somebody, you work 8 hours, they pay you accordingly. You work 10 hours, they pay you accordingly, right? Now, when you're trading time for money, okay, can you have both time and money? Because in order to get money, you got to give time. You can't keep time and have money, right? So is that vehicle going to work for you? No. Can that give you unlimited income? Because something you trading is limited, how can you have unlimited income? Right? Just no-brainer. Right? Self-employed, same thing. Right? So these are called linear income. You give something, you get. You give something. If you don't give, you don't get. Right? The other side, there is a big businesses. How are they make money? They trade their money for time. Right? Company like Microsoft or Apple's or, all the big consulting. Well, how many employees work there depends on how big companies, right? But every employee needs to be paid. And this is called process of duplication. Most corporations make money through duplication. But the duplication is done through employment. Right? Now, anybody here, you have trained somebody at work? Anybody? Have you trained somebody at work? Some new person comes in and you train, right? You duplicated, isn't it? But did you get any extra money for doing it? Who benefited from that duplication? The employee, right? The owner, right? So if you are not owner, every one of you going to be process of duplication, whether if not today, or you may be on other side. Somebody had trained you, right? And only a big corporation with hundreds and thousands of employees, how can it work? Somebody has to train somebody, right? So it's called a duplication through employment. What we do here is exact same thing. We employ duplication. But here, we do duplication through business owner. Right? If I have a network of 500 people, is as good as I'm having a company with 500 employees, right? Only difference is I'm not paying 500 people. All 500s are business owner. But the mechanism is the same. I had to train Raj, and then Raj has to train Chuck, and just so forth and so on. Okay? So it's a process of duplication. Okay? I learned from Kanti. Kanti trained me. I trained Raj. Right? I benefit, Kanti benefits. Right? And you're going to do exact same thing. So bigger your network, more money you'll make. Bigger the company, more money the owner makes. There's no difference. Only thing is you don't have risk, you don't have to pay somebody. Right? And the other way to make money is investment. Okay? Now, to make investment, what do you need? Money. So if something you don't have, how would you invest it? It's a catch-22. Right? Now, let's say if you want to make 10 lakhs rupees a month for all your needs. Would that be nice if you make 10 lakhs rupees every month? Now, if you want to make it through investment, how much money you need to invest to make every month 10 lakhs coming? If you do simple calculation, roughly about 20 crores. Right? So, if you have 20 crores, you're sitting in the wrong room. You know what I'm saying? It's just impossible for average people, right? So, what is the only vehicle left for you? What are we doing? Okay? So, if you really need time and money, you need to build networking business. That's the only way you're going to make it. Right? Plus, why Amway? Because it comes with the Brit Worldwide education system. Okay? So, your effort becomes less. Okay? But this is the only way. If I was doing anything else, I wouldn't be able to control my time and money. Now today, we control time and money rather than time and money controlling us. Where is better? You control time and money or time and money controls you? If you speak loudly, I can hear you. How many of you want, what do you want to do? You want to control time and money. I just want to understand you understand, okay? Now do you want or do you need? Need. Now we're talking something, right? So now, so far what we established, number one, you got to have a need, right? You need to control time and money. Now, you know what are the benefits of controlling time and money, right? That's why we all diamond come here, we show our lifestyle video and all that, not to brag about ourselves, The reason I like to show my video to all of you is because you can see your future. Because how many of you know that you and me are in the same business? Right? So if I can do, you can do it, right? Because my plan is no different than yours. They don't pay me 10,000, they don't pay me 50%, they still pay 21. When I got started, I had a 0 PV just like you. You know. In my starter pack, when I got started, they didn't put 6 platinum in it. Some of you might think they may have done it, that I'm a VP, so I say, okay, Colin, we're going to give you 6 platinum to start with. No, we got to do same thing. I have not done anything that you cannot do. And I started exactly where you started. But you have a little more advantage. When we started, we had 6 products here in India. Today, you have so many. So you have a good start compared to what we had. Okay? We had nobody to, when we started, we never had this many people put in a room and bring my new people to see how good is working. We had no diamond to parade around here. You know? So now you have a much better advantage. Matter of fact, 5 years from now, somebody will come in a business, will have a much better advantage than you have. Okay? When I started in a business in US, they were paying 3% for breaking platinum. Now it's 4. Right? So income gets better. Okay? So you have the best opportunity in hand. Okay? You know that if you really need time and money, you can do this. Right? Now, how to do it, you got all your leaders going to teach you. But provided you are willing to listen and learn and you are willing to make some change. What are the change? You need to change how you think. That's number 1. Okay? Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will believe in you. And belief comes from knowing. Okay? More and more knowledge, you know. When there is a dark place, if you just put a light on, the darkness goes away, right? Same way we are so much in a dark about success, right? Breed Worldwide becomes our lamplighter. You know, you bring that one in, then the room lights up. Then you get to see the future, okay? But there you have to actually use it, okay? So you have to willing to listen and learn from the people who have successfully done it. Then you also have to make a list of people who you cannot afford to listen. Okay? Somebody don't control time and money. Do you think they can guide you how to do it? So then it would be stupid on our part to ask them. Right? Somebody who has never, fly a plane, you go and teach them, hey, teach me how to fly a plane. Person might. Here everybody wants to give advice, whether they know or not, because they have nothing to lose. Right? That's why you got to make sure you take the advice from people who are capable of giving advice, number 1, who are in a place where you like to go. Right? I want to listen to Kanti because I wanted what Kanti had. Right? It was in my favor to listen to Kanti because he had a fruit on his tree. Right? Because I don't want to ask somebody who is, not successful, ask them how to be, successful, right? I always tell people, don't ask your neighbor how to be rich. Because if your neighbor knew how to be rich, he wouldn't be your neighbor, you know that. Some of you will get it on your way home. Right? So that's the advice I have for you. But I believe we have the best opportunity for this 21st century. Okay? And if you are like me, ambitious, you are a dreamer, if you want to make things happen for you and your family, you want to live life, not just pass through it, okay? You owe it to you and your family to do something about it. You can change, okay? You can be the first crorepati in your family. How about that? Wouldn't that be nice? Your grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren says, that my great-great-great-grandfather was the first crorepati in my family. Wouldn't that be nice? Right? And I know it can happen. But how many of you need for that thing to happen? Make some noise, guys, if you need it. Good. Now I can hear you. Okay? Now I'm going to have a Meena come and share a little bit of her thing in it, because without her I wouldn't be here. Because I know most of you have heard my story or not, but the day I saw plan, I told Meena this thing would never work. I said, it's too simple. I said, I got 2 master's degree to believe in something like this, Luckily, she had no master's degree, so she got it. If we both were equally educated, we would be still broke. Right? But she asked me one simple question, Kulin, what if it works? So I started thinking a couple of days, what if it works? I said, I would never know. I said, only way I would know it if I do it. That's the only reason I started. Otherwise, I was not going to do it. Because, back then, I knew everything. Because I had an MBA degree in Gujarati, we call Mane Badhu Avde. Means I know everything. That's how we translate. Okay? So, but thank God, she asked me that question. And that's why today she enjoys the life. Okay? Because she earned it. It's not that I'm giving anything. Matter of fact, whatever I get is because of her. So that's why she keeps 90% of income. I get 10 about. See what one bad decision can do to you? Okay? We're just kidding, we're just having a lot of fun. Okay? But we just enjoy. And other thing I tell people, we divided our work in our business. She's in charge of spending money, I'm in charge of making money. Now she does her work so well, as you can see, right? That means I have to keep working. So for all guys, I wish that you get a wife like that, who spends. I'm just kidding. She equally works, okay? But we just love to hang around, make, kids with each other. Our kids even say that, Mom and Dad, you are still acting like kids. I say, thank you. That's a compliment. Right? So I'm sure you're going to absolutely delighted to listen to me now, because she's one of the favorite speaker of mine, because she'll tell you something in short time. For me, it takes me hours to do it. She'll do it in 10 minutes. Okay? So that's an art I'm still working on, So here's Meena.
Thank you. Thank you. The last answer, just before he was saying, who's going to be the Crorepati? And that reminded me one sentence of what Dhirubhai Ambani says. And I was reading one of the things from him is that if you born poor, that's not your fault. But if you die poor, that's your fault. Right? So it's very true. I can agree that. So I know everything, money, we don't money as everything in a life, but money can do so many things, You see all the things I'm wearing right now. I mean, when I joined the business, I had no desire for all these things. All I wanted to was just to stay home, take care of the children. But as you start growing in the business, you come in across with a lot of people. And there are the ladies who like to have a nice thing, and why not? And I always say, if they are making some nice thing outside, somebody has to buy it. Why not we buy it, So when I wear some of the stuff, ladies can get excited, and that will go into their life, So I know there are so many things money cannot buy, but there are so many things money can buy also, right? So, but that is not my topic right now. But one thing, guys, is, Esculin was talking about, time, money, security. I mean, we have peace of mind, because we have security. We have created the security. And wherever I go, people always say, when you change the bed, you change pillow, or you change the place, you never get, you don't, how can you get the sleep? I say, when you have peace of mind, you can sleep anywhere. If you tell me that, can you sleep on this stage, I can go to sleep on the stage. That's how I am right now. That's how peace of mind I have it. But missing aside, if you are building the business as a husband and wife, I know there are some of the things, maybe ladies might have to do more things. Maybe ladies have to learn how to balance everything in the life. When we are building this Amway business, I know, of course, the God is first, and then we always say the family, and then whatever the occupation or the work we are doing it, that is number 3, and then Amway business, and then everything else. But sometimes when I remember when we were going diamond, that alignment can go a little bit reverse side also. That time, maybe we put family on the side for a little bit, and then we were so much focused on going the diamond, we just did whatever we need to do it. But at the same time, we learn how to balance everything. And certain thing, whatever you do at a certain age, you cannot do certain thing at the different age. So I always tell all the people that you just don't build business, but learn how to smell the roses along the way. Certain things you can do at the age of 30, you cannot do at the age of 60. So learn how to balance your life in the business. And sometimes we have, as a ladies, we have so many other responsibilities, as a family responsibility. But I always say, you learn how to handle different people. I know I always give the example of my 5 fingers. My 5 fingers, our 5 fingers are not same. 5 people cannot be same. You learn how to deal with different people. Even though they are not building the business, but you learn how to deal with the people. And that is more important. Relationship is very important when we are building this business. And because when we were in our emerald qualification and Kulin's all brother and sister, I mean, he has filed for everybody to come to USA. They all come same time, and one time I had 14 people in the house. Now guess what? 14 people has a 14 mind. And now, and plus small children, he has a full-time job. He used to go morning, come late sometime, but he has no idea what is going on in the house. I say all that people, they don't have the thing what I have. I have a bridge system, and bridge system has taught me how to put a lot of positive in the mind. So if I behave the way what they are behaving, what is the difference between me and them? So it's the same thing with you, Sometimes people do come in your life, sometimes people do certain things, make you upset also. But remember one thing, you have learned the value from the bridge system. Apply that thing when you have to use it. Otherwise, what is the difference between you and the other person who does not have a bridge system? So that's why we highly recommend, all of you are sitting. I'm not telling only ladies needs to read the book. I highly recommend both you and as a man and as a woman, both of you, even though bridge system recommend 15 minutes before you go to bed, for me, I think 15 minutes not enough. You need to read more than a half an hour, and as time permit, at least an hour. Sometimes you may not have a time to read one at a time, maybe 10 minutes in morning, afternoon, and evening, whatever. But sometimes make sure you finish your 1 hour with reading. And sometimes I have a book everywhere in the house, near my kitchen, near my bedroom. Sometimes I have it put it in a purse. Sometimes you go and visit doctor or whatever, some things you are handling. Sometimes you have to wait. Instead of pick up the newspaper or reading some magazine, I would rather read my own book and put more positive in there. Because more positive goes in the mind, more positive comes from the mouth also. I always tell ladies is the one who set the right temperature in the house. Ladies is the one who is the thermostat in the house. Because thermostat sets the temperature in the house, but not the thermometer. What the thermometer do? Thermometer is nothing but the reaction. So you as a lady, you have to set the right temperature in the house. And then sometimes, these are the days, sometimes you don't feel like to do certain thing in the business, both of you, I'm telling you. That is the day I make sure I do it. There are the days, I think when we join the business, 4 times this kind of association, we have invited the people, they come from the one association, this kind of association, but then they were so excited because the environment they had over there. And then said, this the next function, we will bring the bus load of people. Bus came from that town, but they were not on the bus. So because back in USA, you guys have only 1 day function here, Back in USA, we have 3 days function. So sometimes long distance people come by bus or some train or whatever. But that didn't bother us. We always say, we are not building business for them, we are building business for ourselves. There are the days, sometimes I don't like to go to the open meeting, but that is the day I make sure I go to the open meeting. Because guess what? When you go open meeting, you meet with the other people and you get excited, and after that, whatever the things have happening in your life, you forget about that. So remember small thing, whatever you don't feel like to do certain thing in the business, that is the thing you have to do it. Sometimes your upline might tell you something that, do something, but you may not like it because you are not at that level, but do it anyway. And sometimes, all these kind of things, when we go to so many different countries to speak for the speaking and everything, at the end of the And the function people always bring their new people. I say, just Meena, just tell me, these are the new people. What is the small message you can give them? I say, I don't have a message for them. They have enough. They have heard enough from the stage. But there is one line I have for them. Don't consider this function as the last function. You got my message? So next function, when this kind of association come, I hope your upline doesn't have to beg you. Because if they have to beg you, that means your why is not strong enough. You don't know why you are building the business, and that's why your upline has to remind you. But if I am your upline, I will never remind you. Because how many people are around in this world, particularly in India? You walk 5 steps, you will find 10 people around you. And what is the raw material in our business? Manpower. We have a lot of manpower in India. So why I have to beg to her? So next time, nobody's going to beg you to come to the association like this. But I know if you listen properly to all the leaders, including Kulin, I know you will never make that decision. Because one day you will say, yes, I will be on the stage and you will be speaking in front of everybody like this. And certain things, I always say, with the children's situation, money situation, anything situation in this life, whether you are building MBA business or not, situation do happen in the life. You saw the house, right? That was the house we just built it 10 years ago. Before that house, we had a fire in the house. Fire happened, everything was gone. Half of the thing gone because of the fire, half of the remaining thing gone because of the water damage, because they have to spray a lot of water. We were not in a town, our kids were not home, and then we got the phone call. We were just going on a stage to speak for some in the Dallas function we went, and we were just going on a stage, and then Kanti and Lata called that your house is on a fire. But we still went on a stage, we spoke. And right after us, Kumar came on the stage and he announces that, did you see any difference in what Kulin and Meena was doing? They said, no. While they were speaking, our house was on fire. But because of this bridge system has taught us, the situation will happen, but if I am going to start crying, do you think the house is nothing's going to happen? No, it is whatever happened. That's one thing I learned from Kulin is whatever happened in the life happened for the good. Well, I didn't expect that fire should happen in my life, but it didn't happen. I saw that thing in the movie, but I didn't expect this thing gonna happen in my life, but it did happen. And after we came home, I think we were very surprised to see what happened. Not only that, now we are thinking about where you're going to be living now, because that is another thing, right? Not only that, the same week, next weekend, we had a schedule to go to the Canada to help our team. Then we decided, don't worry about it. Me and Kulin sat down, I said, yes, whatever happened in our life, don't worry about it. We have to do whatever we needed to do. So we still went to the Canada, and saw the team, but only difference we did it, before we were planning to go, only 2 of us, then we decided, let's take the whole family. Because we had to buy the clothes and everything for ourselves. So let's have a family vacation kind of thing, serve the team and have the fun. Some people can take the other way around. They will start crying, have a lot of things happening in their life, but does that make difference? I don't think so, because if you start crying, it will damage your body, everything, and those things, whatever happened, is not going to come back. And I know this fire could have happened even though I was not building the MBA business, but I'm glad I was building the MBA business. Because of the BWW system, I was very strong. So all I wanted to tell you is, just have a little more faith in yourself, faith in the bridge system, faith in your upline, and just do whatever you do it. But the last thing I wanted to tell you is, whatever your goal is achieving through this business, make sure you put discipline behind it. And I always tell people, discipline is the key, whatever you do in your life. Once you have right discipline, once you find out why you are building the business, put right discipline behind your work habit, and I know you will achieve your dream, whatever you want to achieve. But I know I had a great time talking to you. But if you are building the business as husband, wife, or single, doesn't matter. You can make it happen. We love you to see you on the beaches of the world. And next time, I know some of you might be, one of your dream could be come to the USA. When you go diamond, and you are welcome to my house. With that cool in here. Thank you.
All right, guys. So you all ready to go diamond, become crorepati? Right? So you have to believe in yourself, right? So do you believe you're going to make it happen? Say, I believe. I believe. I want you to keep remembering. Somebody say you cannot do it. Say, I believe I can do it, right? So just believe in yourself. Other people will force to believe in yourself. Okay? So God bless you. Come join us as a diamond.